Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, September the 29th. It is National Coffee Day.
I love coffee.
I'm a big fan. I'm going to have some coffee today.
We have coffee pretty much every day.
Well, then we'll celebrate for sure. It's also VFW Day for the Veterans of Foreign Wars. So we salute you.
Absolutely.
I think that is really, really cool. So if you see a veteran today, especially if they're a member of the VFW, be sure to tell them happy VFW Day. And it's a Tuesday. You know what that means.
Tuesdays with Charlie.
Yeah, we're going to call Heidi's dad. He's insane, and he's a lot of fun to talk to. It'll be interesting. It always is. So we'll have that coming up. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new survey found the average worker experiences career burnout at this age. What would you say the age is when you feel career burnout?
I'm going to say 35.
Oh, you're really close. I would have guessed higher than this. The answer is 32. I was thinking it was like 44. That's how old I am. Am I 44 or am I 45?
You're 40. I don't know. I didn't even know how old I was on my last birthday.
I think I'm 44. I think I turned 45. Yeah, I do, in a little bit. So. Not today or anything. 59% of respondents, though, say they find themselves working more hours than they did in the office. Oh, from home than they did in the office. So,
well, yeah, that's because your office is right there. It's way too easy to go in, let's do this quick, and then you get sucked
since they started working from home, a lot of people are like, I'm maybe getting burned out a little sooner. But there you go. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. An Oklahoma woman told police that she had to, well, I'm not going to say exactly what she said, but she had to use the restroom so bad before taking off. That's why she was on a high-speed chase. 28-year-old Emily Sint Owings was pulled over at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. Police noticed she was not wearing a seatbelt. She didn't have any insurance or ID, except a medical marijuana card.
Okay.
Officers ran her info, determined, well, you don't have a license. That's why you don't have one. It's been revoked. He was looking for outstanding warrants. She tearfully decided that she was taken off. She just drove away.
Yikes.
And she said, it's my birthday. It's my, again, a word I can't say on the radio, birthday. Why don't you just let me go? Well,
it's not the way it
license
works.
is suspended, that's why. And they had a meth pipe in her pocket as well when they were searching her. So she's in all kinds of trouble.
Yep.
So driving on a suspended license, under suspension, possession of drug paraphernalia, reckless driving, all of this stuff turns into a bad, bad day. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Bravo TV channel is launching a new series called Bravo's Chat Room, featuring talent from the Real Housewives series. Heidi is so excited.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I'm not sure what any of this means, really. And I'm just teasing. We don't watch any of those shows. And there have been 2 or 3 times that you have made fun of these programs on this show. Although we've never seen them. They could be the very best TV shows on the planet.
I'm sure they are.
It could be. Amazon. And I don't know why this is here. Maybe this should have been in a different segment. I think maybe I put it here because I was thinking of Amazon Prime. but I don't think it has anything to do with that. It says they're launching an invitation-only section on their website for luxury goods. Okay.
Oh.
I didn't get the invite. And a group of armed thieves stole 5 James Bond guns that were used in spy films from a private collector. So they had a collection of James Bond guns.
Okay.
Somebody swiped them.
Yikes.
They stole 5 of them. Why not 007
What was that valued at?
A lot.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't have that info, but I'm sure they do. Thanks for listening to Big Screen, Little Screen on the John and Heidi Show.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Illinois police arrested a man who traveled from Kentucky on a Greyhound bus with a dismembered body in his bag.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Can you even imagine? I remember a movie called 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag way back
I was
in the
actually
day.
just thinking of that. It's
that's
exactly what I was thinking
First thing I thought of, too. But no, this is a true story and just a crazy one. I've got a link to it in the show notes. Federal authorities have charged a member of the New York Police Department with spying for the Chinese government. So that's no good. I'm not sure what's going on there. The city of Seattle has shelled out over $150,000 now to a convicted pimp to explore, quote, alternatives to policing, end quote. What? I'm not really sure exactly what's going on there. The Department of Justice has designated New York as an anarchist city. That's hard for me to say. Am I saying that right? Anarchist city?
Yeah.
For failing to take the necessary measures to combat local violence.
Okay, I agree with that.
I don't know what any of this means. I feel like I'm just golfing in the weeds right now. Every one of these stories, I'm like, no, don't go there. No, don't go there. Yeah, definitely don't go there. U.S. Attorney General in the Virgin Islands is preparing to release names of every person who flew on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet that was nicknamed the Lolita Express.
Yep.
So we got that story today. Be prepared for one tomorrow saying that person is probably gone missing. Michigan elected, which would be really sad, by the way, because it'd be nice for all of those names.
All of these people need to be brought to
brought to justice would be wonderful. Michigan elected officials called police on a homeowner who put a toilet on his front lawn with a sign that says, put mail-in ballots here.
I saw that.
They made him take it down.
Yeah.
Supreme Court briefing found that prohibiting marijuana is unconstitutional and could lead to full legalization of marijuana. I've got a link to that story as well. A growing number of nation's police departments are having a hard time recruiting new officers. At the same time, they have a whole bunch of people retiring and retiring early. So they're saying it's getting tougher and tougher to find people who want to be a police officer in the environment we have today. The CDC.
Can you blame them? Would you want to?
I have 3 brother-in-laws that are police officers.
Yeah.
They are awesome people and do an amazing job.
Absolutely
And I
awesome
wouldn't change
people.
places with them for a second. They're
God
great,
bless all of our law enforcement officers.
CDC apologized again for mistakenly posting on their website that the coronavirus was airborne. Apparently it was not, and they somehow had that on the site. Prince Charles kicked off Climate Week. Now, this is from last week. Some of this stuff is, and I think this is. Kicked off Climate Change Week last week with a trip to New York on a jet. So, doesn't really sound like I'm going to celebrate Climate Change Week.
And it was a private jet. Now, it's one thing if you're flying coach or flying, first class, even with a whole bunch of other people. But when you're on a private jet and you're wasting that kind of fuel, that's kind of hypocritical.
Guys are not fans of women with false eyelashes or fake tans, but their number one turnoff is too much makeup, according to a new survey. So, ladies, just be yourself. There you go. Wow, we made it through that. All of these were stories that I've had over the last week or two that I was just almost not even going to read. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just read them. We're just not going to comment on them. Now we're done. Your scoop of the day on the John and Heidi Show. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little thing we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
How you doing, Charlie?
I'm your favorite father-in-law, aren't I?
You are my favorite father-in-law. And in all fairness, I have to tell you, I did have one other father-in-law at one point. He was a good guy, but you're a heck of a lot funnier than he ever was. So.
They're probably a lot older now, too. So.
Yeah, a little bit. So what kind of cool stuff are we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Let's see. Well, okay, you're big on presidents. John Quincy Adams, did you know that he owned an alligator that he kept in the White House?
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yeah, he had. I read a book about bizarre presidential pets, and I remember that being the first one they talked about.
Really?
What was
Absolutely.
his name?
His name was John Quincy Adams.
No, the alligator's name.
I don't know.
Well, then you must not have read the book very closely.
I did, but I was like 12 when I read it, so you expect me to retain things? I'm not even going to remember this conversation next week.
This week, let alone tomorrow.
Exactly. See?
Hey, then a company will drive you over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge if you are scared to drive yourself.
No kidding.
Why would you be afraid to drive over the bridge?
Oh, some people are afraid of heights, Heidi.
Oh.
I don't know.
I remember going to the Royal Gorge. It's like the highest suspension bridge in the world. And Dad threatening to throw Jason over the side of it. It ruined the whole rest of the vacation.
Why were you going to throw him over the side, Charlie?
He wasn't being, Dad was teasing, but he picked Jason up and acted like he was going to throw him over this. It did not go over well.
Charlie's book, Parenting for Dummies, is coming out.
Kids.
That's why we can't have nice things. I don't think that fit there.
And there was a toilet paper shortage in USA in 1973 caused by a joke on a talk show that convinced people to hoard toilet paper.
Yeah, I think it was Johnny Carson. I'm almost positive of it.
I think it was, too, if I remember right.
Yeah, he said that there was a toilet paper shortage. There wasn't really, but then people went out and started buying it all up, and then there really was.
I'm not a hoarder. I just like to have about 400 rolls on at all times.
You are a hoarder,
Charlie,
for toilet
there was
paper.
a point about 3 or 4 months ago where we were down to one roll in this house.
How could you do that?
My dad would have had a heart attack.
I actually took a photo and posted it on Facebook. So we were down to one. I was like, I've never seen so little toilet paper in one household. We're down to one roll.
Would have had to call 911 or something. Bring me some toilet paper.
Don't call 911 for that, by the way.
Okay, I got one last thing here for you.
Oh, okay. What's that?
A math professor had worked out an equation to calculate how long into a car journey it takes a child to ask, are we there yet?
Okay, how
Really?
long?
I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful bit of information. Well,
Moron.
I'm going to just say 5 minutes. That's how long it takes. If we're just making stuff up, let's just make it up. Hey, Charlie, you ready for a question?
Okay, let's have one.
All right. And I think you might know this. I'll definitely give you a clue that'll probably help make it happen. The British royal family is not allowed to play this game, and I'm pretty sure Charlie's not allowed to play it anymore either. What
know.
game do you suppose that is?
Monopoly.
Yeah, Monopoly. So you guys had a friendly little game of Monopoly back in the 80s. And apparently you were losing. No, you were winning. Is that what it was, Charlie?
No, Mom was winning.
Well, they were cheating.
And the Monopoly board went flying across the room, and you've never played again, right?
They ought to ban that game out in the world. Terrible game.
Well, the British royal family is not allowed to play Monopoly.
I wonder why that is.
Probably because they don't want
Tell
to.
you why. Because they were playing and somebody cheated years ago and they got caught.
That's probably what it was.
That's it. No more.
No more of this. There's now a new decree.
The
No
Queen
Monopoly.
had hotels hidden in her hair, just pulling them out when nobody's looking.
Well, Charlie, it's always a pleasure to chat, and today was a fun one. So thank you for visiting with us.
Yeah, it was something.
Yes, it was. We'll talk to you again next week.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little show we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Seth MacFarlane. What do you know Seth MacFarlane from?
Family Guy.
Family Guy, and then he's got a bunch of stuff, though. He's had some movies.
But I think that's what everybody kind of right away.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So you probably know him. So here's the fun fact for you. Seth MacFarlane's middle name is Woodbury. Seth Woodbury MacFarlane.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either, but it is today's fun fact. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline, Romania. A woman in Romania filed for divorce after finding her husband's girlfriend in the attic of their home.
Oh.
The husband claimed the woman was just a friend who needed a place to stay while her apartment was being renovated, but she
hit her in the attic.
Didn't believe him for some reason. So they had a little love nest in the attic. That is just one of the most bizarre things ever. And if you want, Heidi, you can check our attic. I don't have anybody hiding up.
I don't think you do.
She's my wife, by the way. Heidi is over here. Every once in a while, I think it's important that I say that because we don't really say that much. So then we have new listeners tune in. They hear us talking the way we talk. And they're like, wow, these two are way too comfortable.
Awfully friendly.
Awfully comfortable around each other. All right. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A woman in England fell out of a moving car while leaning out the window to film a video for Snapchat.
Oh, people are so crazy when it comes to that stuff.
Easily been our moment of doubt, but I got a better one for that. She fell from the car into what's called a live lane, which means it was a lane with traffic, basically. Luckily, she was not hurt badly. Police said she was very lucky. She wasn't seriously injured or killed. She was treated at the scene by paramedics. They added no arrests have been made. In a post on Twitter, the road policing unit said the front seat passenger was hanging out of the car whilst filming a Snapchat video. She fell out of the car into a live lane, but it's only by luck that she wasn't seriously injured or killed.
Absolutely.
No words. Yeah, don't do that.
I just don't. You see more and more of these people doing just stupid things, trying to get famous.
I got to get a video. It's going to go viral, and I'm going to be famous. Or you're going to be dead.
You're going to be dead.
So be very careful.
Yep.
It's today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. A 30-year-old Norwich driver, this is in England, hit speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour before smashing into trees and rolling his car. When police said, "What in the world were you doing?" he said, "I was testing the capabilities of the vehicle." Well, now you know. Zujay Martinez, Z-U-J-E-Y, Zujay. It's a cool name. Test driving a 2013 Audi S5. She, by the way, was driving, so that's not a he, that's a she, swerved off the road, up a berm, and hit some trees. When they asked what was going on, she was saying she was exploring the limits of the vehicle and at one point was going over 100 miles per hour. Passenger and driver transported to the hospital with minor injuries. She was issued a court summons for reckless driving and failing to maintain a lane. It does not say whether or not she bought the car.
Oh, she bought the car.
Kind of got a feeling she did. This is today's Moment of Duh. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for Fake News or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida? Or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Fake news or Florida? A Tampa man was arrested after punching his daughter's teacher at a back-to-school night. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
It is fake news. Boy, you had to think about that one, though, because that could happen.
Well, see, I would have probably bought it if it was at parent-teacher conferences, not at a back-to-school night. It's a little early in the year for that kind of violence, so that's what I was basing my decision on.
I remember one parent-teacher conference where you wanted to punch a teacher. I had to talk her down. I'm like, let's just go. She's like, no, I want to go back in there. I'm like, no, you're not going back in there. No, I'm going back. I'm like, yeah, no, there's a reason I dragged you out of the room.
I've been known to have
Mama Bear?
words. Yes.
Fake news or Florida on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. I got so many good news stories. I'm trying to figure out which one to go with. How about this one? I think this is actually a really cool story. Here's a headline. Electrician arrives to fix an elderly woman's ceiling light, and then he helps fix her entire home for free. Yeah, this happened in Massachusetts. He was called to fix a ceiling light and has now raised more than $100,000
Holy cow.
for much-needed repairs to her entire home. Gloria Scott is 72. She called John Kinney to see if he could help fix a light. When he got there, he realized, well, this broken light is just
the tip of the iceberg.
He said online, last week I met a nice older woman who lives all alone. She has no internet or cell phone. When sparks started shooting out of her light fixture, she went to a neighbor, and they gave her my number. When I arrived at her home, I discovered the electrical was in bad shape. Half of her lights were out, so she had no stove. Her refrigerator was plugged into an extension cord.
Oh, my gosh.
I fixed her immediate electrical hazards, and I got her lights and air conditioning on. When all things came on, I saw the ceiling was falling apart in the kitchen. Sink was broken. The place was filthy. She told me that critters often get into the house. The outside was no better. Gutters were falling down, surrounded by a jungle. She has no family and money is tight. That's when he decided, you know what? I can see if I can get some folks to help out. They've been at it a month now. They put in all new electrical, all new plumbing, new windows, new walls, new ceilings. Almost everything is getting replaced from the backyard to the lawn to the front porch. And there's a photo here of a whole crew of people who've pitched in, the whole town. People without specific skills are showing up with shovels and rakes, sending gift baskets, purchasing meals for volunteers. So far, over $100,000 has been raised.
That's fantastic.
Over 2,000 people have donated to the cause. He says, I can't even comprehend the gratitude that I have. That's what Gloria said.
Right.
She said, it's just, there's no words for it, you know? So it's really cool.
Wow.
I've got to link to the story. It is such a neat story. I've got it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.